Greetings and welcome to the Remote Real Estate Investor. On this episode, I'm joined by
Michael Albom.
And Mark Woodling.
And today we got a fun topic. So we're actually going to be talking about Roofstock Select program. And this is a really neat program that Roofstock has that merges our technology as well as our awesome local broker and agent network. And today we're going to talk about that with Mark, who leads the program.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on, guys. This is really a cool opportunity because Roofstock is growing and we're growing in many different directions. But one of the things that most buyers are starting to see on our website is that there's more properties that are coming from MLS. And so we really want to make sure buyers understand, hey, what markets are, where are the properties coming up? Number one, what markets? And then number two, how are those properties coming to Roofstock, right? Roofstock doesn't go on the market and cherry pick these off of MLS. We actually have what we call our certified agent network. And those agents are the ones that we work very closely with by vetting them, number one, to make sure that they know what they're doing, that they're really top agents in their industry. But secondly, that they have the experience and really understand the investment side of the world. So these agents are the ones going to MLS and identifying quality investment properties, underwriting them using Roofstock tools, and then posting them to roofstock.com so buyers can sift through properties that are also on market.
So if I'm a buyer, Mark, and I'm on the website and I see a Roofstock Select property, does that mean that somebody or an agent, an investor-friendly agent, has already put eyes on it and identified it as a potentially great investment opportunity?
Exactly. So Roofstock has provided these agents with underwriting tools where they can go in and identify properties on MLS and look at the pictures, really get into what the estimated market rents are, because many of these properties are vacant. So they'll come up with the market rents, and then they'll actually have an idea of what the cap rates look like and can study our neighborhood scores. So they understand what Roofstock buyers are looking for because we've done a lot of coaching to give them that direction. And so anything that makes it to the site has been touched by the agent, and then they have the authority to push those directly to Roofstock. So we go in QC and make sure that these are some quality properties, but with all the training that we're doing for them, the ones that are hitting the market, they know as a local expert that these are good buys.
This is great. So just to paraphrase a little bit, so within Roofstock's properties for sale, they have these exclusive properties that you're not going to find anywhere else, but they also have these properties that are listed in the MLS that these local experts using Roofstock technology have identified for people to be able to acquire through Roofstock. Am I understanding that correct, Mark?
Absolutely. And as you know, buyers like to look through the Roofstock lens and see all the analytics and the details from our neighborhood score to cap rates and just long-term equity opportunities. So this is a place to be able to identify properties using the Roofstock lens. But what's cool is that when a buyer makes an offer, they're always going to get the inspection contingency. So they can make an offer. In fact, Roofstock is going to pay for that inspection. And we're going to help them with a certain part of the transaction. But they're going to have the local agent that understands what is absolutely necessary to compete in that market to make sure their offers are competitive, but also really to make sure that the buyer is handheld when that inspection comes back, maybe how to renegotiate if there's a few things that need to be fixed up. But mostly it's about really interpreting what's local and customary in that market. Because all markets from Austin, Texas to Dallas, it's hyper competitive. But now you have the ability to have an agent help make that offer and then walk you through all the steps all the way through the closing process.
So Mark, something I hear constantly from Roofstock Academy and Roofstock users are how great the guarantees are that come with Roofstock properties. So the lease-up guarantee on vacant properties, a 30-day money-back guarantee. Are those applicable to Roofstock Select properties as well, or are those only for the exclusive?
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you look at the select properties, you're going to see about 90% of the properties are actually vacant. Unlike Roofstock exclusive, about 90% are tenant occupied, right? So the guarantees absolutely apply. In fact, it's almost better when you purchase vacant because that's where the Roofstock guarantee applies if there's any missed rents after the 45 days. So those are absolutely in place. In fact, that's really the reason why buyers like to come back through Roofstock and continue to purchase, even if they could go directly to the agent. They know that the guarantees are in place. Roofstock's going to cover the inspection. And then we are also helping keep those agents really, communicating with us. So we know they're front and center. They're very present with especially the Roofstock buyers. And we just have a good, I would say, partner relationship. So we can be very influential in making sure that, yeah, they are delivering the best customer service.
That's great.
For any agents or brokers that are listening that are interested in applying and going through the application process, I'd love to hear kind of just talking over some of the benefits and why it would make sense for an agent or a broker to apply to this program.
Part of Roofstock's magic is really working with the buyers, right? It's doing what you guys do every single day with the Roofstock podcast to webinars. And we have our buyer advisor team that's helping buyers really come up with their plan, right? It's about getting comfortable with investing, step one, and then really narrowing down and getting to what markets are available, what inventory is available, and so forth. So agents love that we are doing so much of the vetting and qualifying and education piece on the investment side. So when a buyer is ready to make an offer, they've been through the education and they really are ready, willing, and able buyers. And we do require when an offer is made that there's a pre-qual or a proof of funds letter. So when the offer comes through, agents love it because Roofstock has done so much work on just making sure that these are really quality buyers and that they're actually ready to make an offer, and that the lead that we send to these agents, being this the buyer, has all those documents, but more importantly, they've found a property that they're really interested in making an offer on. So when it comes to a buyer being ready and an agent ready to intercept that, there's a deal ready to be done. So agents just love that, we go through all those steps to get the buyers ready.
That makes total sense. So what should agents do or brokers do if they are interested in becoming Roofstock agent partners?
Absolutely. So we have a website. It's join.roofstock.com/certified-agent. So join.roofstock.com/certified-agent. And you can actually fill out an application there and provide us with a little more detail. But, going back to why this program is so important to us is that we want to make sure that we're working with the best of the best agents out there. So we do want to take an application and know that agents who have 5 or more years as a full service real estate agent and have done 50 or more transactions would be the minimal qualifying factors, to really bring on some of these agents and even begin the conversations. And just so everybody knows as well, we're only picking 2 agents per market, and we may grow to 3. We want to make sure that these are really agents that we have relationships with, that we have done hands-on training, and that they really have committed to understanding Roofstock and just have a better idea overall of what's happening in the investment community. So the reason why it's small is you get better quality versus the quantity. Otherwise, it becomes quite difficult to chase down that many agents because they are busy and they're independent contractors and they don't work for Roofstock, right? It's just a partnership that we have. So I think just having fewer is going to bring more quality to the buyers.
I'm curious, Mark, from a buyer perspective or from a transaction flow standpoint, if I go to make an offer on a property that's either a select or an exclusive on the website, from my perspective, it's all the same. But from a transaction flow standpoint, what actually happens after I hit that make my offer button on a select property?
Great question. So when you make the offer, the buyer is going to fill out the basic details that you need to really populate a purchase and sale agreement, right? And in these cases, we have to use the local purchase and sale agreement. So if you bought a property on Roofstock, that's an exclusive property, you use a different contract that's very direct just for tenant occupied homes more than likely. So using the local state promulgated forms is important. So we collect the basic information, you upload that proof of funds or your pre-qualification letter, and then we're going to send not only an email confirming that that's been received, but we're going to send an email with a DocuSign, which is a contract, to the agent. And the agent's actually going to have the ability to intercept that, review the terms, and then reach out to the buyer directly to make sure that they can quickly fill out the rest of the details and get that offer back in the buyer's hands for signature. So maybe a buyer made an offer for $100,000 and the list price was $100,000. Well, there could be multiple offers, but a Roofstock buyer doesn't know that it could be a multiple offer situation. So the agent's going to have firsthand knowledge based on their MLS access, and they can coach the buyer on, hey, what are the next best steps to make your offer the most competitive? So really working with that agent for these on-market deals is super critical, and they know how quickly they need to act. So the agents are going to really coach the buyer at that point. But having that contract in hand, they're ready to go. So they have pretty much all the information from the buyer ready to fill out that contract and submit that offer.
So just to paraphrase, after I hit that button that says make my offer, it goes into really a review phase by the agent, who's then going to turn around and bring it back to me for final signature before it ever gets submitted as a official offer. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay. So I was going to ask a question, but I think that kind of answers it for me. I was going to ask, can folks reach out to the local partner agents ahead of making their offer to be coached in how to make a competitive offer? But it sounds like that's already going to happen once they, quote unquote, make their offer, because then it's going to get reviewed and get sent back.
Exactly. If they found a property, go ahead and enter in the offer information, but you're always going to have that ability to really get coached in that final step before it gets submitted. So we always suggest talking to the buyer advisor team that works at Roofstock to really, find the markets, really get coached up and make sure that you're ready. And when you do make that offer, by the time it gets to the agent, they know that you're ready to go, because we all know properties are moving less than 24 hours being on market these days for on MLS properties, and a lot of Roofstock properties too. But to be able to move this quickly, it really serves, it's an advantage to the buyers to be able to identify the property and say, hey, what questions do you need from me? Otherwise, let's rock and roll.
That makes total sense. And I'm curious, Mark, geographically, where is this program going? I know we're in a bunch of different markets right now, but where are we setting our sights for future growth?
That's a great question. We have really taken a lot of the information from Roofstock's exclusive program and said, where do buyers purchase today based on the data that we can collect and analyze? So we're opening up in St. Louis, Kansas City, just as of recently, even like Augusta, Georgia, and markets where we know there's quality cash flow, right? We know there's appreciation opportunities in those markets as well. So we have the ability to open up in any market where we can find an agent and we have a property manager partner. So we really just need to be able to get the MLS data to really connect to our systems. And we do that through the local real estate certified agents. So, the sky's the limit. If somebody's interested in buying in Anchorage, Alaska, hey, if we get enough interest, we can absolutely do it. We'll probably steer people back towards the mainland, but we absolutely have grown tremendously. And we have, so we're in 24 markets today. And a lot of those markets are just coming on board today because we're training up the agents in like the Tulsa, Oklahomas. We just brought on, like I said, Augusta, Georgia. We're bringing on a second agent in Jackson, Mississippi, because we're getting so much interest right now. We just signed up in Gary, Indiana. And I can put together a full list and make that available. But, just check back to Roofstock. If you go into the filter section, you can actually filter under the More button for just Roofstock Select properties. So we'll be doing a lot of these announcements, as we go forward, and really making sure that we give a shout out to the agents who are participating and who are really trying to bring as much inventory to Roofstock, knowing that we have so much demand right now. So overall, short answer is we can go anywhere, but we're really focused on the markets that we've seen success. But we're ready to go into new markets like, Colorado Springs is one that we're eyeing right now. We did open in Austin, Texas. Cap rates are, 2, 3, 4%. There's some in the 5s, but that's just how competitive it is because prices have really jumped. But at the same time, property taxes out there tend to kill the cap rates a little bit. So it's good for our buyers to see real properties on the site in those markets and really understand what is available on the market, especially as properties are getting snapped up so quickly.
This is awesome. I like learning about this for a few reasons. One, one of the things that I've always seen in Roofstock that I've wanted to see more is more listings available. And now by tapping into these local experts, I mean, that solves that problem where we're getting basically any listing that's listed anywhere. You're able to layer on Roofstock's technology and services that they provide and certifications and warranties, all that good stuff, and just opening it up to the world of any market, right?
That's right.
Fantastic. And then also like kind of a win-win both for the broker agent side and that, at the end of the funnel, where they're connecting with these buyers, it's at the point of making, that final push on the, either price setting or, the final, property selection. And on the buyer side, you're getting this sort of certified agent that's been through the ringer that Roofstock's done and getting them on board. So, yeah, really, was it a triple win or a quadruple? I don't know. Anyways, I'm fired up about it. I'm excited about this program, Mark, that you're working on.
Yeah. And hey, the one thing I want to say about these agents are, I'm hand selecting these agents and making sure that they really understand technology and companies like Roofstock, that they believe in us. So last month we had one of the agents, his name's Matt Crawford. We hope to have him on one of these podcasts and really just talk about what's happening in Columbia, South Carolina. But he posted 275 properties in 1 month from MLS to Roofstock. And he's just hustling and making sure that he can put new builds up, right? Something that buyers are accustomed to seeing, but they may not be able to see it through the Roofstock lens that often. Because a lot of properties you see on Roofstock are exclusive listings, right? So now we're starting to open up and get into higher price points where, there's going to be less overall maintenance, right? But you're going to have higher appreciation in some of these kind of trending school districts, let's say, that they're building in. So it's a great way to see a variety of properties and really dabble without Roofstock having to do this extensive business development to go find those listings. But again, give that taste to the buyers.
I'm curious, Mark, how this will play with the Bring Your Own Property program that Roofstock has as well, with getting now agents and property management partners in these new markets. Does that then allow for the ability for folks to submit BYOP submissions as well?
The two overlap perfectly, right? And that's really where the certified agents are the ones that a buyer will work with if they submit a BYOP property. Because really the markets that we're working on BYOP are the markets that we have certified agents in. So if you submit a property, Roofstock is actually kicking those over to the certified agent and saying, hey, we do have a property, please underwrite this in our broker portal. That's the technology that we use that really analyzes the deal and kicks those over to the buyer. So the buyer now has a private link, right? Nobody else is going to see this besides the person that submitted through the BYOP program. And then they're going to have the ability to go through the same process they would for any other select property. But it's the fact that the buyer found that property, and now they're the ones that say, hey, I can still take advantage of all the Roofstock guarantees, get the free inspection. And as long as it really, fits the condition criteria that we're looking for, Roofstock will apply all those guarantees, right? It's not guaranteed to have the guarantee, I guess you would say. But at the same time, we want to make sure the property's in good condition, or that the seller or the buyer may fix up that property in order to get that guarantee. Roofstock just doesn't have the confidence if a property's falling apart or, there's a foundation issue that, somebody's going to want to rent that property out. So we do have those conditions in place for that. But yeah, the BYOP program's been a great success. And again, it just folds right into this master plan of how we're growing out the certified agent network.
Oh man, that's so exciting, because I hear all the time of, folks asking, oh, I found this market, when can we open it up? So this is really exciting stuff.
And one thing on that I'll just note is off-market deals are still an opportunity as well. We actually have our system set up so if a buyer wants to make an off-market offer because maybe they were playing around on a Facebook group or they found a lead that just came from a different source, but it is not on MLS, you can still submit through the BYOP program, and the agent will still underwrite that property, send the same link that you would see, the BYOP or select link, and then you can transact from there. We just want to make sure that we want the buyers to know that it has to be on market. You can't just make blind offers on your next door neighbor's property, because it may be a poor judgment on your call. May as well just go knock on his door.
Right. Oh, interesting. But if there's a true listing for an off-market property, those are fair game on BYOP.
Fair game. Absolutely. And hey,
Awesome.
that's the type of market we're in, right? It's you have to look far and wide, and what other people don't know is available could give you that edge. So it's something definitely to consider. And again, if you see a property that's on our website, that's in the Select program, those are the markets we're open in. But we'll work on really making a Select web page in the very near future, so a buyer will know where they can shop, and maybe they want to start shopping just for Select. That's going to be an opportunity.
Oh man, this is great. This is great.
Awesome, Mark. Awesome. Thank you so much for jumping in. Any final?
So the markets that we're open in no particular order, actually by alphabetical order. So let's just start there. Atlanta, Georgia, Augusta, Georgia, Austin, Texas, Birmingham, Alabama, Cleveland, Ohio, Columbia, South Carolina, soon to come Detroit, Michigan, Greenville, South Carolina, Houston, Texas, Huntsville, Alabama, Indianapolis, Indiana, Jackson, Mississippi, Jacksonville, Florida, Kansas City, Missouri, Las Vegas, Nevada, coming soon, Memphis, Tennessee, Montgomery, Alabama, Orlando, Florida, Pittsburgh, San Antonio, St. Louis, Tampa, Tulsa, Waco. So I could go quicker if you wanted me to, but those are the markets.
That's awesome.
That's
great
awesome.
coverage. Yeah. Hey, Mark, what are some of the words of wisdom to maximize this opportunity?
Sure. It's a great question, because it does make sense for a buyer to say, wow, I could just reach out to these agents and, go to Roofstock's website and see who they are. But working through the Roofstock process is actually really important, because you're going to have Roofstock on your side, especially in the event something may happen afterwards and you say, hey, Mark, yeah, I have a few questions, or, is this the right property manager, or do I need to exercise my Roofstock guarantee? In summary, I would say it's really important that a buyer continues to work through Roofstock, where we can send the lead to these agents, because that really shows that you are ready to make an offer. The buyer agent or these certified agents are really ready to engage with you, knowing that you've done your homework. And then, of course, you're going to have the Roofstock guarantees. And the Roofstock guarantee doesn't just end if you're collecting missed rents, but it continues. Roofstock wants to stay involved, keep the relationship with our buyers. And just working through us is going to give you a lot more value, especially when it comes to all the education and other things that we're able to do for buyers. So yeah, stick with us, stick with the process, and these buyer agents will be in contact with you, especially once you make that offer. They're going to be ready to take you to the next steps.
That's a great point about, in able to take advantage of all the guarantees and stuff,
Mark, this was great. And I guess my final question is for the BYOP and the Roofstock Select. For Roofstock Academy members, do those properties also qualify for their cashback incentive?
Absolutely. We treat it all the same. So, I think it's Roofstock Select shouldn't feel too different to the buyer, which is important, because we put the safeguards of the inspection contingency in there. And, the Roofstock certified agents are going to step in as well. So there's actually a lot of value. So yeah, we want to treat these all the same. So Academy members should definitely kick around and get to know the agents. We're going to be coming out with agent websites soon, so you can see, a 15-minute interview to learn about their market, just learn about who they are and get more comfortable with them. So yeah, we see there being a lot of engagement with the Academy members with these certified agents.
Fantastic. Well, man, I am just super pumped. I am super pumped.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. And we'll do this again. We'll highlight some of the agents in the markets that are really producing. We call them the hustlers, right? The ones that are just putting in the effort and they want to see Roofstock really thrive. So yeah, we'll get them on and let them really walk us through their markets and what's happening, because the market dynamics are changing every single week. It's getting crazy out there. So let's hear it from the local experts.
Awesome. Well, very much looking forward to having them and you back on the show as always. Great seeing you, man.
Thank you guys. You too.
Take care.
Mark, thank you so much for jumping on. This is an excellent episode learning about the Roofstock Select program. As always, if you enjoyed the episode, please rate us, please subscribe, tell your friends about us. We appreciate that greatly. And as always, happy investing.